Holy Gorilla.
HolyG.com. This the Holy G podcast, y'all.
I was young, I always wanted to become and now I'm older, I see all I ever was. If I had to do it all again, I do it all again. Ain't nothing I change up. When I was young, I always wanted to become.
Yes. Welcome, everybody. This is episode 1 of the Holy G podcast. We are going to be sharing with you an interview from 2015 with the Honorable Chief Solagbade Popoola. Well, I figured I have the interview and I might as well share it instead of just stashing it. As always, Chief Popoola, he's dropping bombs, dropping jewels with that great amount of great wisdom and knowledge. He's a walking encyclopedia and ambassador for Ifa. But I guess I should just do a quick introduction. Yes, I am Isaac Sierra III. I am a Babalao and an astropsychologist, and definitely an artist. In the Miami artistic community, I've been known since about 2005 as Holy Gorilla, Holy G for short. But that's enough about me. Let me just get to how this interview came about. While I was in EIWO, I was doing my year as an EIWO, I was able to secure an interview with the chief. And my reason for it was because at the time I really was focused on writing a particular book where I wanted to speak about the correlations between astrology and psychology and Ifa. I was privileged enough to be able to, be blessed with this opportunity to interview the chief on some points. And we had a nice conversation. And that's what I'll be sharing today. But I've done the best to clean it up, and hopefully it'll still be good enough for some people to appreciate. I really hope that some of this information resonates. Yeah, so I'm excited about it. Let's see how it develops. But let's start with this. The great Chief Solagbade Popoola. Ashe.
I was always into the scientific aspect of life. And I think that helped me to gravitate towards my Oluwo, because as you probably know in speaking to him, he deals a lot with the physics, the science side, and correlating it with knowledge of Ifa. Now that's something that I was already, working on myself when I gravitated towards him. But another thing that I gravitated besides the physics part of it is I gravitated also to psychology and dealing with the archetypes and those kind of things, and also into astrology. And actually found a way to combine psychology with astrology. I learned about this field called Astrological Psychology. So in Astrological Psychology, I don't know how familiar you are with the natal charts. Basically, a map that you can form in accordance to the time and place where you were born, right? So when you look at that, you see where all the planets were, and they form aspects to each other. And in astropsychology, we learn about how the way that the energies of these, of where the planets were, the way that they have angles with each other. In a way, basically, the bottom line is that it forms a map of the mind. And according to the way that the mind is working, is how events can occur. Events that are already predetermined by the kind of energetic forces that the planets represent. So in studying that and knowing about Ifa, that I came to the realization that it's all really talking about basically destiny and Ori. It comes down to that what is in our Ori is going to determine how, like in Ifa, the sign, the Odu, that is current, that you might currently be on in this lifetime or at this time, the way that it unfolds depends on your own Ori.
Yeah.
So that's the correlation that I'm making between, psychology, astrology, and Ifa. And so in doing that, I had thought that maybe one day I could interview you and get your views as far as Ifa is concerned with topics that relate to this. And I happened to mention it to Jose, and he told me, well, we're going to be there, and this was like 3 weeks ago. So I seized the opportunity, and so we're here by the blessing of the Lord Almighty. So, first of all, I've spoken a lot for a minute. I don't know if you want to have a word about or thoughts about that before I begin just asking you something.
We are saying basically the same thing that Ifa is saying, because the day that a child is conceived is very important, and within those 9 months of that conception, the child will be choosing the destiny based on the stars formation, the moon position, and all the other galactic bodies, how they are populated. That also determines what a person chooses as one's destiny. So we are all saying the same thing.
Right.
And I had also done some maps on Ifa, how you can see the interrelatedness of human beings based on that map.
The interconnectedness of human beings?
Yes. If, for example, your Odu is Akanshe and my Odu is Osiris, if we can work together, we can chart it and we'll know.
Mm-hmm.
If we can't work together, we'll know based on that chart. And we'll also know what will be the possible outcome of our relationship. Everything is in that.
And how do you go about creating that kind of map? Like, what things do you take into consideration in order to make those maps?
Yeah. The first thing is, what Ifa says is that a geobe occupies the east of the universe. The Yakumedi occupies the west. The Wodimeji occupies the north, and the Odimeji occupies the south. Based on that, and we know that as far as Ifa is concerned, Ifa rotates counterclockwise. So it is very easy to map the rest, to know where they are. And if, for example, we want a man and a woman to get married, we can put the Odu of both of them on that map and we can easily tell you what will come out of it. So it's like our own ufological map, right, that will let you understand even before the start. Right. So all of these we have tried to do and we have seen that it is working. It's not only that, if we want to do business together, we can place it on that same chart and we will know whether the business will flourish or not. Then we'll know whether I will cheat you or you will cheat me, or we are going to have a level ground to play with. Right. So all of these are there. Everything depends likely on what you are looking for. Right. So what I'm trying to suggest is that I agree with you entirely with what you have said. So having said that, I don't know the particular area that you want us to delve into. So let me know, then we can talk.
Okay. I'm not really sure myself, but what you did just talk about relates to one of the first things that I wanted to ask you about. And that is basically how it is that the future, how it is that the future can be something that can be forecasted.
Yes.
How does this occur?
Yes. You should understand that in Ifa work basically based on two principles. And the first principle is the principle of substitution. You substitute an animal for a certain event in life, either for the life of someone or for the progress of someone. For example, if I want financial success and I come to you, your advice most likely is going to be go and look for a pigeon, because pigeon has that attribute of attracting financial success. And if it is victory, you either ask me to go and bring a rooster or he-goat or ram, because all those male animals also attract victory to people. So you use one to substitute for the other. That's the principle of substitution. The second principle is the one that tells us that history will always repeat itself, given the same condition. So if that is the case, it means that what Orunmila or any of the other great Awos did 10, 15, 20,000 years ago, if you do it today, it will give you the same result. And what that means is that if you want to know what is going to happen in the United States of America, for example, in the next 50 years, and based on your experience or based on your exposure to life, you realize that it is not going to work the way you want. It can be changed from today, based on the same principle and based on the same idea. You can change it. So it is very easy to predict the future, because everything that will make you to be able to predict the future are always different. If I will tell you, if this is what is going on and this particular wood is revealed, this is what is going to be the outcome of that person or place or time. That is why all the towns in Yoruba land have their own wood. So the elders of old who decided to cast Ifa for each town, they know what they are doing. It is just for them to be able to predict what is going to be the nature of this town or village or city in every 50, 100, 200 years. And none had been found to be false. Everything that they have said that will happen in all these towns has been found to be so. So it means that it is very easy to predict. And why do we do it, Kosadai? It is just to predict the future of the child. So that you know that this is a 3-day-old child and you are already predicting what is going to happen to the child when the child is 40, when the child is 50, when the child is 70, and you find it to be so. And you are not only doing that, you are trying to look for the kind of name that this child will bear that will be positively attracted to all the great things that you said are coming. That is why naming a child is very important. You don't just use any fancy name, or you don't say because my friend's child is bearing this name, then my child should also bear that name. You have to look at the name based on the prevailing circumstances and what if I had said about that child, what do you had come, and then you will decide to pick the name that would be most appropriate for that child. And again, when you find Ifa saying that somebody went for Ifa consultation and the person was told these things, the first thing that you need to look at is, one, it means that your child can bear that name, but it is on one condition. And that condition is, after reading through the story, you realize that that person offered their property. When the person offered the able, then allow your child to bear that name, because that person had brought that energy that will make the life of your child to be positive, to be progressive. That person had brought it forth. If the person does not make the able, no matter how sweet the name may look like to you, don't use it for your child. Because the mere fact that the person did not offer that able will always affect the child. But when you hear that, yes, the person made Ebo and the person became triumphant, of course, that's what we need. So that's what we need to do. So that is a way of predicting what is going to happen in the future. The same thing with a country, the same thing with the whole universe. We can do it and we'll get the result that we want.
Okay. As far as Ori, I want to ask you, since Ori, when one looks at the definition by the book, it is the head, but we also come to know that it is destiny. So, can you explain, is Ori something that is physical or beyond the physical?
No, Ori is both physical and spiritual.
Mm.
But the most important thing to know is that anywhere that is the apex in anything is known as the Ori. And it is also the extension of God in human beings.
Okay.
The roof of a house represents the Ori of that house. Just like the leaves on a tree represents the Ori of that tree. So it is the apex that represents what Ori is. And the same thing with human beings. Because that is the highest point in our body. And it is connected directly to Olodumare. So that is part of the things that made us to be closely affiliated to Olodumare. So when we are in heaven, when we are in the spirit world and we are choosing our destiny, everything that we choose will be encapsulated and will be embedded into our Ori. It is not this Ori alone, but it is that mythical entity that everything will be put into. And when we talk of Ori, we are talking of three things, and they are not the same, but they are all interconnected. The first one is your left thumb. This is the one that we call Ipori. Ipori is connected to your Ori directly. If you want to know whether it is true or not, just put pepper in your eyes. When you put it, then pour water here. You will see that it will have a soothing effect on your eyes. Yes, that is to show you that it is connected.
Right.
That is one. Then the other one is Orinu, which your umbilical represents. And that one deals more with character. And the third one is, that's why we call this one Okay Body. It is also really Okay Body. This is a body, but this is the top of a body. Okay Body. The three are connected. This one deals with wherever you go.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever you go should not be in such a way that will run contrary to here and here. Because if it does, then there's going to be a problem. There's going to be a problem of character. Because the way you react there may affect what will happen. And it is our own responsibility to make sure that all of these things are properly harnessed. That is why when you cast Ifa, and Ifa will tell you, please don't go out for 7 days. It is for you not to have that problem when the three will not synchronize. Sometimes it will be, don't travel out of your vicinity. It is the same thing. So that whatever happens there will not affect your character. Adversely, that will affect your Ori. So all of these are very important for us to know. So the moment we understand this, the better for us. So that is the whole essence of having Ifa. So that Ifa will guide you and Ifa will ensure that you do not make the wrong connection. You do not take the wrong decisions.
Okay. So if Ori is something that is really an essence that is beyond the physical, that connects to the physical, so it's safe to say that really it's an aspect that comes from Olodumare.
That's what I told you, that Ori is just the extension of Olodumare in us.
Right.
Yes. So it is there, and that is why it is also a way of showing us that we are also both spirit and physical. So because we need this body in order to live in this planet. The conditions in this planet will not allow us to exist here without the body. But the moment the moment that we do not need this body again, we'll drop it and then move forward. And that's when you realize that the body becomes useless. Nothing can be done again with it, and then it begins to disintegrate because we don't need it anymore. Then we move to the next level of life. So it's like there is no such thing as living, there is no such thing as dying. All what we have is existing. And we have various levels of existence. When the child is in the womb, the child is existing in the womb. When the child is born, that represents the death of the child in the womb. And that represents the beginning of another type of existence. So what it means essentially is that when you are in the womb, you are getting all your birth equipment, all what you need in order to do well on earth. So you need your arms, you need your legs, you need every part of your body, you need the physical body and so forth. Then when you are in this world, you will be doing certain things that will be giving you spiritual points or minuses. Those are what you need when you move to the next stage of existence, which is the spiritual existence. So how you manage what you have here determines how you will find yourself over there, and so on and so forth. It's like that. So nothing is terminated, no death, no. And in the fact there is nothing, we don't have what we call something is living. No. What we have is essence. That is why if, like I told you, the moment you have a roof on a house, the house becomes something that has essence. We can talk to this building as it is, and the building will do what we want the building to do. Sometimes, if you want the building to collapse, there are certain things that we will say that will make the building collapse. I remember one time when there was serious crisis in my community. Some people came and they were selling other people's property. It's not only that, they will sell your land and they will start to build on it immediately. I realized that the elders waited until they put something like roof. And then on a single night, they will talk to 12 and the 12 will collapse. And 12 buildings collapse in a single night for 4 weeks. Once in a week for them, the people have 48 buildings collapsing on their hands. And everybody ran away. So they left the community alone. That's the kind of thing that we are saying. That the moment, and that is essence, that is not life. So it is essence that we are talking about, not life. So there is nothing that did not have its own essence. Because it is when you know how to tap the essence of anything that you can make the best use of it. You can use it for and against. For yourself, against others, and so forth. So it is the essence of that thing that we need. And that is what Ifa is all about. Because Ifa is raw, naked energy. How you use it, how you address it is entirely your business. You can use it well, you can misuse it, you can abuse it. That is the problem. But it is there, raw energy.
Now, would you correlate the rightful or wrongful use of this essence with the concept of Ire and Osobu?
Ire and Ayewo. Not
Ayewo. Okay.
Everything depends like on what you are looking for. But there was a time I asked Ifa for someone. 2 people, a couple, a man and a woman, they wanted to get married. And I was laying so much capital on the fact that this marriage will not lead to the birth of children. It is not a good relationship. You need to do something about it. You need to offer this ebo, you need to do this. But at the end of the day, they told me that, look, we are not interested in having children in this relationship. But the woman had 5, I had 4. So we don't need a child. What we need is joy. So that is why we come to you. You can see, and the whole essence of marriage, as far as I'm concerned, is for you to produce babies. But to them, that is not the reason why they want to get married. Just for them to be each other's companion and to be happy. So it depends likely on what you are looking for. That is 1. 2. What will happen during the period of peace is different entirely with what will happen during the period of war. During peace, if you call me and you greet me and I refuse to answer you, you will take an offense. But if my community is fighting with your community, thinking of greeting you is abnormal. That is an aberration. I will not think of it, you won't think of it. And sustaining my life will be the last thing that will come to your mind. Because at that material point in time is the number of people that you kill that determines who wins and who loses. So everything depends on what we want, and the energy is there. It is the same energy that we want to use. The same energy that you will use to engender peace is the same energy you will use to engender war. Everything depends likely on the circumstance. So the circumstance really matters. And when you know, there was one charm that the elders of old used to apply, and that was when there is war. You will see that your enemies will be driven and attracted to a particular hill. Anywhere there is hill in that community. And when they get there, they become confused, and many of them will drop dead, and many of them will be captured there. But people are now using that same method to attract people to companies, to attract people to supermarkets. So when you wake up in the morning, that is where your mind will go. No, I need to get something in this supermarket. And then when you get there, you may buy it and then you wonder, but I really don't need this thing at this time. But you've already bought it. And it is the same principle. And the owners of the supermarket will smile to the bank. And you too will know that you did not throw your money into the lagoon. You saw what you want to buy. So what I'm saying is, most of the things that we do, they are neither good nor bad, but it depends entirely on the context in which we did them. That will determine whether we'll say that it is good or it is bad. So that's what I'm saying.
Now, if somebody continues to make unwise choices,
Yes.
then there has to be some sort of consequences that have to arise in order to alert the person that something needs to change and go the other way, correct?
Yes. There are many things that could determine what you consider to be unwise. Unwise to him, unwise to the society that he lives in. Yes. If it happens, it means that the person is not consulting you. Because if I will let the person know that under this present condition, this is what is supposed to be right, this is what is supposed to be wrong. And another thing is, even if the person is consulting, the person may not be taken to the advice of people. Sometimes the advice of Ifa can look so silly, and then you'll be wondering why. There are some occasions that you'll find somebody who is very ill, and you'll cast Ifa, and Ifa will say that it is a period of what area of luck, like 2-3 days after the person will die. Then you'll be wondering, what does Ifa mean by long life? If we look at it from the context of this particular planet Earth, then it is wrong. But if you look at it that it is just a transition, that this is not the end of it all, it is still correct. So everything depends on what we are looking at, and we need to make certain correction. And you cannot use only one stanza of Ifa. You cannot even use 20 different stanzas of Ifa to determine everything that you want. You have to look at everything from the holistic point of view. Then you will understand what the first is. Like I told people, when you think that something is wrong, I assure you that is when the thing is right. But you may not be able to understand it at that material point in time. But the time is coming that when you sit down and you reflect on what had happened in the past, then you will see that pattern. You will see the path, the direction that if I had been going all along that you are not aware of. I told you of my own case when so many things happened to me. My wife left, my children left. It remained only me. And then a daughter of mine insisted that she will not follow the rest, that she will stay with me. At that time, my wife had done me a big disservice. And every day I will be crying and I will be saying that what would I have done against this woman that she would abandon me at this period. Every day I will be crying. But later I realized that if she had not gone at that time, I wouldn't have been able to achieve what I achieved. Why? I needed to study more than ever before. And there was no way I could satisfy her. I had no money to give her to feed and to feed the children. Leaving the house together with the children gave me the opportunity of moving without thinking that I had so many responsibilities unattended to. And surprisingly, after I had finished the training to that level that I wanted, she came back begging. And all the others that I cannot say no to came to beg for her. And she came back and everything was fine. So now you understand. So when we think that something is bad, that is probably when it is good. But we don't know. And I call something spiritual trimming. That you need to trim certain aspects of your life. But you may not know at that time. And I always give the example of flower. If you have a flower in your house and you don't trim the flower, you can never ever get the beauty of that flower. It's when you trim it, you remove some parts of the flower and then you do it elegantly. That is when you will see how beautiful the flower is. Sometimes when there are certain losses, the losses are in our own interest. Look at this dress that you are wearing. This is not the way the dress is sewn. Some people cut some parts out in order to give you this fitting that you have. So if those parts were not cut off, there is no way you will enjoy wearing this dress. Even the pants that you are wearing is the same thing. So when Olodumare is doing that spiritual trimming for us, we feel that it is inconvenient. You have a white dress and somebody came and put oil into it. You know that the oil is bad. But it will take something like bar soap to put that same dress in water and begin to squeeze it. How do you think that the cloth will be feeling if the cloth could talk? It's inconvenient. And the cloth will be feeling that strain, that tension, that pain. But at the end of the day, the cloth will come out clean. And then it means that whatever had happened there had paid off. So those are the things that we need to understand when we talk about Ifa. Because sometimes Ifa will give you a suggestion and the suggestion will look so silly, or just follow it. No matter how stupid it may look to you, just follow it. At the end of the day, you will have cause to celebrate.
Okay. So really, it comes down to that there's always a bigger picture.
Exactly.
That goes beyond us.
Exactly.
And beyond our lifetimes.
Yes.
And it's not necessarily anything that is negative or positive, because it's always another point of view.
Exactly. It is movement. There are certain areas that we are going in this world. It is only left for us to make sure that we do not create so many impediments that will stop us from getting there on time. I've seen myself when I was young, when I will see myself in a place that they are doing a ceremony, and I will be in my middle age then. I did not know how I would look like during my middle, but I always see myself. Then people told me that my ancestors came from Ilora. Ilora is very close to Oyo. One day I went to Ilora just to go and look for my ancestral home. Nobody told me before I knew the house that they were talking about, because it was exactly the way I've been seeing it in my dreams. And I entered the house, and by then I was the 9th generation of those who left.
Wow.
And we were able to discuss and we were able to connect. And funny enough, I did not even see them that they resembled me. The only thing that I knew that also they are also tall people. That's all that I knew. But when we began to talk. It was clear that actually my ancestors left from there. That is one. I was in Trinidad. I told you, when I got there, they told me that I would be going to a particular shrine in that place. That was my first time of being there in 2007. Nobody told me where that shrine is. I was just telling them, okay, take this road until we got to that shrine. Because it was what I had been seeing all along. So it means that there is more to it. There is more to life than what we are seeing, and there is more to life than this space that we are occupying now. There are so many other spaces that we might have occupied before. And before I used to say, if I tell you you have been to this world before, this is not your first time of being into this world, and these are the things that you did. And some other people will tell you this is the first time that this person is coming into this world. So such experiences that we are talking about will not be there because they have not been here before. So what do you want from life? That is the question. Do you want people to see you as somebody who had come into this world and you have packed a lot of money and you became a millionaire or billionaire, whatever you want? That you want people to see, or you have come into this world for people to remember you as someone who has changed the course of this world, like Barbarossa, like Alexander the Great, like even Julius Caesar, like Hannibal. These are people who had changed the course of the world. Even Hitler, no matter what anybody likes to say, Hitler is one of the people who had changed the course of this world. Because so many measures put in place today were because of people like Hitler. So everything depends on who you want to be. Or you are the kind of person who have been able to impart so much knowledge on the youth that the youth are now thinking more of moving close to God. Or do you want people to see you as somebody who had come into this world to bring so many structural changes into the world? Architectural designs and so forth. Or you want people to see you as somebody who had come to bring a lot of value changes, to enhance the value of living on earth. What exactly do you come into this world to achieve? And everything that we are talking about, all part of it. Or you are coming to this world to truncate what other people have done. But it's all part of it. So as far as I'm concerned, I believe that when we talk of Olodumare, when we talk of God, that is the giant God which we are just part of. And God had created the world, and God had set everything in motion. And God is just there looking at us. So how we do it is our business, but there is a particular stanza in the fact that says that if this was spoiled, it's those of us who are here who do not know how to manage it. And that gives me the impression that the Lord had already handed off the affairs of the world, and he had handed it over to us. So how we want to do it is our headache. And that's why Lord is holding us responsible. That if this was spoiled, those of us who are there, we are the ones who do not know how to manage it. So you understand? It's only when you realize that you are doing something in this world and you need divine assistance, then you can go and tap from that source. So that you will also continue to be relevant and you also continue to make changes in the world. So everything is in your hands.
So when you say that Olodumare leaves it up to the humankind which way they are going to go, so would it be safe to insinuate then that there is also a collective Ori, where it's an Ori that is comprised of all the individual Oris in humanity?
That's what Astrology had said.
Right.
That is the collection of Ori that makes a city,
Right.
the collection of trees that make a forest, the collection of fish that make a shore. So everything it's there. That's what I am saying. Why are you writing this book? You are not writing it because you want to show the world that you are smarter than them. But you want to show them that there are certain things that may be clear to you that may not be clear to others. So if other people read what you have read, they can develop it and also add their own. Then it becomes part of the body of knowledge. Is that not what you have in mind? And I can assure you, Ifa is something that you learn to become a servant. You don't learn Ifa to become the master. Yes, we can have so many other experts in other fields, but not in Ifa. The more you know about Ifa, the more you realize that you don't know, and the more you try to find to know, that you will continue to be the servant of the people. Especially when you have wide knowledge of Ifa. Many things become totally useless to you. Many things you will realize that you don't even need. You don't need. And these are the things that we hold on to seriously now. And when you have reached that level that all of those things become irrelevant to you, then you will be ready to face your God at any time. Yeah. And when you face your God, you'll be able to tell your God, Lord, man, I've paid my dues and I'm ready for the next assignment. It's very important.
Now, ready for the next assignment because the Ori, as you said before, it is traveling through time. It goes through lifetimes. The goal of each lifetime would be to be able to attain a higher level, right? So, in line with the thesis statement, I would ask if somebody's personal Ori has traveled and, let's say, for example, has been able to progress, would you say that once it gets to a point where it has progressed enough that things can become noticeably or can manifest more noticeably in an easier manner in the person's life?
Thank you. What we are saying is this. The whole essence of being in this world is to make this world better than the way we have met it. Sometimes. But it is not God that will say yes. You are now moving to the next stage. It is your action and inactions that will say you are now qualified to move into the next stage. So how you move into the next stage is entirely in your hands. Because the moment you do it very well, then the level that you'll be operating will determine certain hierarchy of life. Even when you pass on, that is the level you still find yourself over there, because that is the level that you have attained, and you will continue to go from there. So there are some other people that maybe they are on level 5 now, they will come back to level 2, depending on the way they are reacted. If they are those people who believe in satisfying their biological needs, their animalistic needs, of course they have to come back to that level. So they will all start all over again. But if you have gone beyond that, you are no longer thinking of all those mundane things. You want to move forward, and that's where you will find yourself. And if you come back, maybe just for you to complete an assignment, and of course you should know that whatever you do in this world will be relatively easier. But unfortunately, when we say that life is easy for people, we try to think of money. The person has a lot of money, the person can buy whatever the person. That's not the reason why we are here. Money is not from God. God did not create money. Human beings do. Because God does not spend money. The spirits don't spend money. It is only human beings. Of all the creatures of humanity who spend money. So if that is the case, it means that we are laying so much capital on what will not even move us to anywhere. So what it means is that it is not how much you have that really matters. It is how you spend the money. It is how you make the money. It is how you control the money. That is what will change a whole lot of things. So to me, like I always tell my people, making money is neither a sin nor a virtue. But what do you do with the money? Do you make your money in such a way that makes other people who do not have that money feel as if they are guilty? Do you make them feel as if God did not favor them because they don't have money? Or you make them feel that, well, it's just a question of chance. Anybody can have it and anybody can spend it. So everything depends like that on how you want people to see it. For example, sleeping on a place like this is neither a sin nor a virtue. But if I sleep in such a way that I did not allow you to have a place to sleep, I did not allow you to have a place to sleep, then it becomes a sin. So it's something but it's how we do all of those things that determine whether it is sinful or it is virtuous. Everything depends on us. What do we want out of life? What do we want? I spend more money in my life, and I realize that what I spend that people consider to be extravagant, I gain more from other people. If I want to have anything, more often than not, I don't spend my own money for that. But when other people want anything, I'm ready to spend my money to let them have it. And I realize that when I spend $5, $7, $8 is waiting for me from elsewhere. So I am always making profits. So that is.
What would you say might be the thing that determines within the individual what it is that they are trying to do, whether they go right or left, whether they want to use this for the advancement of society or for selfish reasons? That's a choice that they make. So their actions is what's going to determine their elevation. Can you think of what might be the actual force within the person that decides which way to take it?
Thank you. What Ifa says is that the only thing that Olodumare will judge is that choice that you have just said. Olodumare will not judge any other thing. It is your choice to do good or your choice to do bad. That's all that Olodumare wants to judge. And that is why you cannot say that the devil had pushed you, because that choice is entirely yours. Nothing will push you. You are going to push yourself. And that is why we say that we need things that will make you to be in the right place at the right time. Things that will not make you to make a wrong choice, and for you to let your Orino act in such a way that will scatter everything that you have been putting together. You see, being in the wrong place at the right time is terrible. Being in the right place at the wrong time is equally terrible. Some people, I remember that I read a case of a man when I was coming. The man was in the wrong place at the wrong time and he was caught over what he did not do. And the policemen in Nigeria said, okay, now that the situation is like this, give us money. And the man said, no, I cannot give you money since I did not do this. And they arraigned the man for armed robbery. Armed robbery about what he did not know anything. And the man spent 37 years in prison. He was supposed to be executed. But one way or the other, when it came to his own turn, nobody will know where the fire is. And at the end of the day, his relatives, they now wrote, when they had that, some people were reviewing people's cases, they wrote and they said, okay, the man could go. The man was released after 37 years. The man was in the wrong place at the wrong time. There was one man again. That man, when kids were playing prank, the man ended up killing his friend. He was 9 years, the friend was, I think, 11 years. They got hold of the boy and they threw him in a juvenile institution and forgot him there. So when he became old, they put him in the prison and everybody forgot it. No fight, nothing. And it was when the man was 56 years before they remembered to release the man. Now tell me, where do you want that man to begin? So that is what we are saying, that we also need. You see, you can do good, you can do everything. You still need to beg Olodumare not to allow you to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Yeah. I was giving you an example here 2 days ago. The trees, the river, the shrubs, the plants, they are rigid. They cannot move the way they are moving. Even when there is fire, they will still be there, and fire will go to them. But we know that they have essence. Then you find all these small ants that will go there to consume them. They have no say over what the ants will do with them. After that, the rodents will go there and consume the ants. The ants have no say. What offense did the ants commit? Nothing. But what offense did the plants and the trees and the shrubs and the leaves commit before the ants were eating them? Nothing. Then the bigger animals will come, they will eat the rodents. The rodents did not commit any offense. But it happened. Then the cat family will come and eat all those ones. Nothing. I want to come to your house. You learn that I'm coming to your house. The first thing you tell you find out what is the favorite food of Popoola. What is the taboo of Popoola? Then they tell you these are his taboo. Don't touch that one. Go and get me guinea fowl. I learned that Popoola loves guinea fowl. You bought 2 guinea fowls. You bought fish. You sentenced the 2 guinea fowls to death. What offense did they commit? Nothing. Well, because you want to satisfy your food. So they must die. You understand? After that, don't forget that there are also some higher beings that could decide that we need 14 Americans. We need 24 Chinese. We need 30 Brazilians. There are some people they can put them in a ship and crash the ship. They can put them in a plane and crash the plane. Then all of us will be crying. What offense? God, why did you do this? All what we are saying is you need to continue to pray and to testify and to offer effort so that you will not be part of that statistics. Right. Because it is only effort that can save you. Right. So when you testify, the first says, don't go out at this particular time because there is danger. Then you won't go. See, you have left your house, you are coming. A trailer is coming. And the Lord had calculated that at a junction both of you will meet. And the trailer will hit your car. Then your car developed a tire puncture. But you are going for a serious business. The first thing that will come to your mind is that yes, my enemies are won. That is what they wanted to happen to me, and that happened. And I'm going to miss that business opportunity. And you went there truly and you missed the opportunity. Yes, the enemies are won. Not knowing that the Lord is protecting your life at that time. But you are not seeing the larger picture. The picture that you are seeing is the picture that what I am supposed to gain today has been lost. And you'll feel bad about it. Then you go back home. What did I do? What offense did I commit that will make this happen? Did I not serve you enough? Did I not pay my due? When you told me to bring a goat, I brought the goat, the finest goat in the market. When you told me to propitiate my Ori, I propitiated my Ori and everything was fine. And I even asked, and if I said that yes, everything was fine, then you now testify. Why? If I will say it for 6 children, area of what? Area of long life. Then you will not be able to correlate it. What is all this rubbish? How can this be area of long life after losing this job? How could it be? And whereas it is truly area of long life. But because you do not see the larger picture, that area of long life is not clear. I think you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yes. So we're looking for immediate results.
But if we could have that hindsight to see what is and to know where everything is starting from and where it was supposed to end that had been averted, then maybe you will be rolling out to the drums for celebration. That you did not get that job, that's why you are still alive. So all of these things we need to be putting them into consideration when we determine what our Ori has done for us. Because the whole essence, everything is Ori.
Okay, so it goes without saying that Ifa is the tool for us to be able to keep that OD
exactly
properly balanced.
To keep it in line, yes. To keep it in alignment and in balance. It is. Because, and that's what Ifa says in the JB. Ifa don't make me, Ifa knows today. No, that is Wuriutura. Ifa don't make me. If I know more, if I knows tomorrow, if I know more to that everywhere, if I knows even the day after tomorrow, Oromila knows all the 4 days of life. You know, in Yoruba religion, we have 4 days in a week. But when you talk of social days, that is 7 days. But in our religious, it is 4. And that it is Ifa that knows only 4 days what will happen. So it means that we need to continue to ask Ifa questions, to know where we are going, and to be able to give praises to Olodumare at all times. Even when we cannot eat, there may be reason for it. And now we'll be saying that then why this pain? Why is Olodumare inflicting this pain to me when my neighbors are making it, when they are succeeding where I had failed? Why should I be the failure amongst them? Not knowing that the Olodumare is protecting us against certain things that we don't know. Right?
I think I'm going to review everything. But from what you're telling me, the main thing that I'm going to be gathering from it is, as far as Ifa, things that we just covered, it's a diagnostic holistic tool that we can use in order to guide the Ori. And that the Ori is something that goes beyond this lifetime. Trying to advance, progress, lifetime to lifetime. And the different levels of Ori, if there's collective Ori, that all ends up with the psychological things too, because then you're dealing with archetypes and things of that sort. So I think that I can make a correlation with what we have.
That's good.
Yeah.
If you review it and you still feel that you need to ask me some questions, come. We'll be going on Saturday, early on Saturday. You can still call anytime tomorrow.
Okay.
And just wrap everything up.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's an honor to be in your presence. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Very much.
Thank you very much.
And I appreciate everything that you do also.
All right. Well, that's what we have for episode 1. And I hope that it was useful. I want to thank Chief Solagbade Popoola. Even though the interview was a long time ago, the knowledge is timeless. Make sure you check out his books on ifalinks.com. And we look forward to making many more episodes. Check us out on holyg.com. Thank you for your time. See you at the next episode. Ashe.
This the Holy G podcast, y'all. Divine.
I was young, I always wanted to become
Divine.
Now I'm older, I see all I ever was.
Divine.
If I had to do it all again, I do it all again. Ain't nothing I change up. When I was young, I always wanted to become
Divine.